For this lesson, we're going to practice monitoring our comprehension as we read non-fiction texts. A non-fiction text is a piece of writing based on facts. It is written to inform the audience. All of the books we've read so far have been narrative writing, which we usually call stories. We can use strategies like predicting and inferring in narratives, but we usually can't do the same in non-fiction, because a non-fiction probably won't have a twist or a hidden mystery in it. They give us the information as clearly as possible. The aim of comprehension monitoring is to make sure we are thinking about what we read as we read it and we don't miss anything. Adults who have to read articles and documents at work will use this a lot. For this, you will need a non-fiction text that you are allowed to write on, like a printout or a workbook and a pencil. You can use colours if you like. What we do when we read a non-fiction piece in school is we mark the page with a code. Every time we see a piece of information we knew already, we put a line under the words. If you see a piece of information you didn't know, put 2 stars on it. If you see a fact that makes you think, wow, that's amazing, put an exclamation mark next to it. If something gives you a question, draw a question mark next to it. This is very similar to questioning, where we stop and say, I wonder. Sometimes people think they look very smart if they rush through the page, underline everything and say, yeah, I knew it all before, I don't have any questions. The fact is, it's the people who know loads about something that come up with the most questions about it. Take your time, think about what you're reading. You should try and put at least 1 mark on every sentence. Dinosaurs. Dinosaurs lived on Earth many millions of years ago. I'm going to put an exclamation mark next to millions because that is an amazing amount of time. Long before there were people on Earth. Okay, I'm going to underline that because I knew that there were dinosaurs long before there were people. Dinosaurs were reptiles, and the word dinosaur means terrible lizard. So I knew dinosaurs were reptiles. I knew dinosaur meant terrible lizard, but I'm going to put down a question mark because I'm wondering, what language does that come from? Some dinosaurs, such as the Tyrannosaurus rex, were huge. Okay, underline, I knew that. Tyrannosaurus rex means tyrant lizard king. Okay, so I'm going to go 2 stars for tyrant lizard king because I didn't know that. And I'm going to ask the same question again, what language does that come from? And T-Rex, as it is known, did indeed rule Earth long ago. I'm going to put a question mark here because I'm just wondering, what do they mean by he ruled the Earth? Did it mean he was the top of the food chain? Was he an actual king? Surely not. It was about 15 meters long and 6 meters high. I'm going to mark these with stars because these are 2 pieces of very specific information that I didn't know. That's more than 3 times as tall as your teacher. Okay, I'm going to underline that because from reading the last sentence, I can work out that it would be more than 3 times my height. It was a fierce-looking meat eater. Okay, underline, I knew that. Its teeth were as sharp as razors. Now that is just incredible to me, that something that large can stay that sharp with no help at all. So I'm going to mark this with an exclamation mark. Not all dinosaurs were meat eaters. Okay, I knew that. I knew some of them were herbivores. Underline. Apatosaurus lived on plants only. Well, I've actually never heard of that dinosaur, so I need to put a star here. And I'm going to put a question mark as well, because I'm wondering, well, what does he look like? It used its long neck to reach the leaves high up on the trees. Okay, 2 stars, because I didn't know anything about this dinosaur. Wait, maybe that's the Apatosaurus there. I wonder what the difference between an Apatosaurus and a Brontosaurus could be. I'll go a little more quickly now. Dinosaurs made nests and laid eggs. Okay, I knew that, underline. Some dinosaurs arranged their eggs in large groups. I didn't know that. I'll give that a star. The largest dinosaur egg ever found was discovered in France. Star. That's something I didn't know. It was as large as a rugby ball. Okay, wow. I'm going to give that an exclamation mark because from watching films, I honestly thought the largest dinosaur egg would be much bigger than that. Not all dinosaurs were big, however. Underline. Some were as small as hens. Okay, exclamation mark because that is very interesting. But also, I'm wondering, were there other small creatures around at the time? What were they like? Because surely it wasn't just dinosaurs. No one knows for sure why the dinosaurs disappeared. Underline, I've heard that one before. Many people think that it had something to do with a change in the weather. Star, that's a new piece of information for me. The dinosaurs had no covering of fur or feathers. Wait a second here. Now I'm wondering, how old is this workbook? Because most researchers now think that some dinosaurs did have feathers. Look, that's what most scientists think a raptor actually looked like. So they may have died out because they could not survive the cold weather. And for me, that is definitely an exclamation mark because it's unbelievable to think that such a simple thing like the weather could just change all life on Earth. Very interesting though. So, next time you have a piece of non-fiction reading to do in your workbook at home, try this out. Slán go fóil agus túr giara.